Hey, hey, hey! Hello, everybody! Hello, everybody! Hey, hello, everybody! Hey, come on, come on! Yeah! 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 Wow. All right, we're here. We hope you're joining in. I'm Dr. Willie Jolly, and
this is Dee, Taylor-Jolley.
And we are the Jolleys. We are welcome you all here tonight. We're the authors of the books and audiobooks and workbooks and live presentation CDs and DVDs.
And we simply talk about make love, make money, and make it last.
Is that the name of the book?
Yes.
Say it again.
Make love, make money, make it last.
Make love, make money, make it last.
Okay, you're being off the wall. Okay.
All right.
You're all dressed up.
I am all dressed up because we.
Off my teeth.
Yeah. And go back to this is Jolleys, jollymarriage.com. Go to jollymarriage.com. So we're all dressed up tonight because we actually had somewhere to go. We've been to a gala this evening.
We had a convention.
At a convention at the National Speakers.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
And tonight was the closing gala from Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The biggest convention that we go to every year is the National Speakers Association convention. And we attended this year and tonight. Virtually. Tonight was the gala and the new Hall of Fame inductees were welcomed into the Hall of Fame, and I'm honored that I'm in the Hall of Fame and was able to be a part of the process. So
I really enjoyed the virtual presentation.
It was fabulous. It was just fabulous, and so we had a great time tonight.
I like how it was spaced out.
Yes.
We had workshops. Then you had an hour or so to do other things and marinate on the information. And then we came back for another workshop, and there were different workshop rooms. I thought it was very well done. It
was wonderful, wonderful. By the way, you look mighty delicious tonight.
You know what I said? I said you could talk the ladies' panties off.
That's what she was saying. That's what she was. That's what we're going to talk about tonight.
He's really good at that. You can talk the ladies' panties off.
Gentlemen, there's some lessons here to learn, and we're going to talk to you about that tonight because we talk about making love. One of the biggest problems in marriage is breaking up is sex, and then making money. The second thing is that we see is sex, money, and then communication. And so we have been focused on that because we see that 50% of marriages break up in America. And of the 50% that remain, statistics show that 40% of the people are miserable for one of those three reasons. And we want to close the gap of people breaking up, and we want to get those people, that 60% or that 40% who are miserable, who are only staying for economic reasons. We want to get them going and growing and having fun and loving their lives and loving their marriages. So we got to talk about the real deal and not skirting. So we're going to talk about it because we've been married for 35 years. I used to say almost 30. 35 years. And we've been dating for 39. Lord have mercy, I was a child. I was a pup. Anyway, 35 years, haven't had an argument in 33 years. Now, we learned some principles that got us from arguing those first couple of years to being loving and to really having a great time.
The key is honest communication. And honest doesn't mean being
mean-spirited.
Abrasive.
That's right. Mean-spirited. Oh, you did this. No. Honest is, here's how that made me feel.
It does take work to be able to express how you feel about behaviors of your spouse,
yeah,
right?
That's correct.
And to encourage them to do things a certain way. I said encourage.
Right.
To do things a certain way. So what's the topic for this evening?
Okay, before we do that, I want everybody to do a couple things for me.
Like, share, and watch. How about that?
I want you to start a watch party. Wherever you are right now, just hit on your a computer, start a watch party. We want to get more people to be involved. Second, we want you to like it and want you to share it. So we want to get the algorithms really blowing up about this messaging. So thank you. I got to give a couple.
So we can help other people understand how to be good together.
Yes.
That it is better together. Even though with the pandemic and all the other economic problems that we're facing right now, we are discovering, the research shows that more people are applying for divorce or waiting for the opportunity for the economic situation to improve so that they can get a divorce because they're saying, I can't stand it.
Right.
And it's really discovering, I can't really communicate with them. I don't know how to communicate with them.
Right.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about that. First, I want to say hello to Michelle Hollowell, Donna Shorts Robinson, Terrence Ephraim Gray, Tyrone Sutton, Roz G, Jill Tweed Scott is one of my other children. And Jill knows that this is the first time I missed the dance party at the National Speaker Association Convention because I'm usually in the thick of it. But Jill.
And I've gone to bed.
She can always go to bed. So when this, our half-hour show is over, I'm going to get it on. I'm getting on the dance floor virtually. We got via Zoom. Moses, who's what we call a top fan, top friend. Thank you, Moses. Nicole Early, Moses, you know it. Lewis is up here together with us. What's up, Lou? What's up, Lou? We love Lou. And so just glad everybody's with us. Now, more people will be joining. Remember, start a watch party, like and share. Okay, we're going to talk about the topic of the week. And it's going to be hot and heavy. I'm telling you, it's going to be hot and heavy. We're talking about sex. Ooh.
Okay, so the topic for the week is sex and dirty laundry. Is that a catchy topic?
Oh, that's a sex and dirty laundry.
Okay,
oh, Lord.
So the subtitle is What Turns You Off About Being Intimate with Your Spouse?
What turns you off about being intimate with your spouse?
And we've got one solution.
And one way to fix it. She said one solution to fix it.
Yeah. One way to fix it.
Ooh.
Okay, so this time we're gonna do a summary. So of course I've done some background work.
You know she's done the research. One of the things about this show is not something she just pulls out of her mind at the last minute. I do that. But she's always going to do research.
That's just because you're so very creative and
I got a new idea every moment.
I have to go to the nuts and bolts.
I got a solution for it because God has given me wisdom for the ages. That's how I got to marry you.
Yes, dear.
All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, dear.
All right.
Okay. So here's some turnoffs, and I'm just going to run down the list, and then we can go back and you can expound on.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Or maybe disagree.
All
okay.
Right. All right.
But in terms of the articles that I read, a whole bunch of information out there on the internet, and as well as Q&A and complaints, turnoffs. Guess what number one is?
What's number one?
Poor hygiene.
Uh-oh.
Oh, let me just run through the list.
Okay.
Poor hygiene, being rough, being mean. I didn't know that. Fighting over chores. Is that something? Clinical depression, low testosterone, ED. I didn't know there was a difference. Okay. Exhaustion, and rushing foreplay. So that's like the
Lord have mercy.
So that's like the top 9 things that are turnoffs.
Okay.
In developing intimacy.
Ooh. Well, when we got married, my wife said to me a couple things.
I don't remember what I said.
This was when we were dating, and we were going to visit my aunt in Charlottesville area, and we stopped to get strawberries at a strawberry fair. You remember that?
I remember that I got ticks.
You did get a tick.
I got like 3 ticks.
Yeah, and picking the strawberries. But she said, be careful about your fingernails. She said, I really don't like to see dirt on a man's fingernail. I never forgot that.
I don't remember saying that to you.
But is it true or not?
It is.
All right. And so she might have just said it in passing, but the smart guy that I am, I was still courting her. I was still working on trying to get her to see that I was worthy of, being serious about it. So I made a point that you'll see my fingernails. Always.
You
Always.
do go to the
But
nail
even if I don't go to the nail salon, I keep no dirt under my, because that was a turnoff to her.
And that's probably because of my dad. Because my dad worked in the Newport News shipbuilding dry dock company, crawling through the hull of ships. He was a ship fitter. But he always came home, and I had his bathwater drawn. He got home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and he always scrubbed everything. So his bathwater drawn. We didn't have showers. He had a tub. And he was always pristine. Nails done, scrubbed, clean nails. The shirt and tie, now it's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and he goes to his next job because we had a barber shop and we had a hair salon and we had a grocery store. But he was always clean, even though he was in an environment and worked in a nasty environment. He was really clean.
Men,
so I had an impression on him.
And men and women, but men, you'd be mindful. And I would think for women as well that it's about your personal hygiene.
Okay, so let's go back to number 1. Can we do that then?
Let's do that. Go back.
So that's what you remember that I said.
I remember.
I don't remember.
You don't remember, but I remember.
So personal hygiene.
And I kept it in mind because I was trying to get hooked up.
So that can be a variety of things. Now, something that I
wasn't there yet. Wasn't way from there, but I was keep working.
Something that I looked at that Cheryl said, and Cheryl works with us. She's our marketing and new technology. I think all technology.
Cheryl's on Google.
Technology.
I just whatever I need.
Said,
Google.
When I went through the list, she said, "Oh, manscaping." I'm like, "What the heck is manscaping?"
She said it's like landscaping for the man.
But on the man.
On the man.
You know what? I looked it up.
Okay.
And there's a major website by Gillette. You know Gillette, the shaving people? They talk about manscaping. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I did not know.
You can go to the website and they're showing you how to remove the hair from your body. Because for some people, body hair, underarm hair, body hair on the chest, body hair on the back. I mean, I never really had an issue with any of that. But for some people, that's a turnoff. So how would you know that if you don't ask them? But Gillette has made that a major addition to their just shaving of the beard.
So
manscaping.
Manscaping. So gentlemen, I know you got a lot of activities. You might be athletic. You might have your yard work, but make sure you take care of the scrubbing, the cleaning, the manscaping, so that everything is good and clean.
But you might not know what it does take if you're not communicating.
That's right. You got to talk about it. Because she said it, and we had to have that conversation over. Let me tell you one that she specifically said.
Okay.
My nails, toenails.
That's next on the list. Nails, fingernails, and toenails.
So
sometimes people won't tell you about that.
You tell me. Oh, you tell me.
I tell about everything.
You tell me. You say, that toenail, I just got a little scratch. I said, I jumped right. Whoop, what? Okay. Because I'm not trying to mess up anything. Okay, this is going really good.
But that's just because of how we have open and honest communication.
Yes.
And we don't let things fester or go unsaid until it builds up and then you explode.
So we don't have that. Y'all know we talk about, let me talk about you. That's a good point. We talk about in the book the principles. And remember, folks, we talk about in the book principles, not just what we think of work, principles. Methods are many. Principles are few. Methods may change, but principles never do. You throw a rock up 100 times that rock comes down because of a principle, because it's called gravity. But what we put in the book are 10 principles to keep your marriage going well. Get the book, 2 copies, one for you and one for your significant other, your spouse, and y'all read it together because they're principle-based learning.
All right, so poor hygiene falls into categories. So we've got manscaping, which is the hair and all the parts of the body, and you need to talk to your spouse about that.
Would there be such a thing?
Them on or off.
Would there be such a thing called womanscaping?
I guess so.
All right. Okay. All right. Good.
So if I had parts that had hair on it and you weren't pleased, I think you would tell me about
I
it,
would
right?
tell you about it.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right.
So then we've got nails, toenails, fingernails, and we got crusty heels.
Mm-hmm. Crusty heels. So when I got to a certain age in my life, one of my heels was a little harder than the other.
It's like the skin grows faster.
Yeah, there's something about it, but she wasn't feeling it, and I didn't like it. So we tried this ointment, and that was. So she bought me a heel. I don't know what you call it. Pumice.
It's a pumice stone.
Okay, and she said this will work.
Variety.
And
see, these are things that we talk about.
Well,
so
we talk about. She told me. She said that scratched me in the bed. You know, this whole foot thing. I said, okay, if that's what.
So he has a foot fetish. So if you got a foot fetish.
But she always said I had pretty feet. She just said your nails were a little too long. I said that we can work on that. Is that a problem? And yes. one heel was a little. Got it. I fixed it.
So the key is
fix that, because that's not gonna mess up. Not gonna mess up this train.
All right. So poor hygiene, and then I'll just add boxer shorts.
Okay,
that's just a personal thing. I don't find that attractive.
Wow.
But you don't wear boxers.
I don't wear boxers. I've never worn boxers.
So how would you know what pleases the eye if you're not sharing it?
Wow.
Isn't that something? That's neat. Okay. And then next we said.
Oh, stop, ladies! You should have these conversations with your significant other, and men, you should have.
And don't wait.
Yeah.
Until you get into bed to have the conversation. Because it can be extremely awkward then.
Yeah.
Because the man might see it as
what do you see that you like? Okay, you know what? Let me tell you.
Okay.
All right. Well, she has always had.
Okay, they're crazy. I know.
They're crazy as could be. But she's always had long nails. I always thought they were so well done. And that was very attractive to me when we're dating. I never said anything about it. But the way you kept your nails, the little fine parts. And I had no idea you would do it yourself. I thought you were going to the nail place every week. I said, she sure does have nice nails. Always had nice nails.
And now you say I'm a little wacky.
Oh, wacky.
The colors change
every day. You know, this is her, particularly since we got in this COVID thing and we stuck here together. Every day it's a new design. Every night it's
relaxing.
That's her artwork.
So let's go back to
the
things that are turn-offs in the bedroom before we get to actually dirty laundry. Being rough. I think what they say that as number 2. That needs to be number 2. What does that mean to you, being rough? It means not being tender and sweet.
Yeah, I think that being rough talking and rough acting and just rough in your not
gentle in
not
terms
gentle
of
and
how you touch, then you wouldn't grab. I told you could talk the clothes off the person. Okay, here we go. So we've got poor hygiene. We got being rough. We've got being mean. I don't even know. I thought that was interesting. That says in a lot of relationships, people are mean. Mean in terms of things that they say. How do you have intimacy?
I can tell you one thing.
Okay.
When I was a young man, I was dating a woman who.
Did we say that you had many paramours? Is that an appropriate term?
I knew a few.
You were a man about town?
I knew a few ladies. They were all nice ladies most of the time. But I remember one.
How did that sound? They were all very nice.
When she got angry, she went from 0 to 100. There was no middle ground. And one night we were talking, and I had on a gold chain, and I don't know what made her say, well, "Where'd you get that chain?" And I hesitated because a woman had given me the chain, so I hesitated. And she went from shh, and she snatched that chain off my neck and broke it. That was the last day we went on. Because let me tell you something. I tell my son. Let me tell you, that's mean. That's mean. And let me tell you something. I tell my son that if you see drama early, you're gonna see it again. I figured that out. Maybe my mom told me that. Somebody maybe schooled me to that. But if you see drama early in the relationship, you're gonna see it again. So I didn't. Maya Angelou said, "Believe them the first time." Okay, believe the way they act. So I've always been kind to you.
Wow.
Have I? She's always been kind to me. She is intense at times, and that's why I am we've been married for so long because I'm such a nice, easygoing guy.
You are.
All right, but she's intense at moments, but we're always kind
That
to
does
each
not
other.
mean I get my way, though. You might be easygoing,
Well,
but
we're always kind
I
to each other.
understand you're easygoing. Yes, sweetheart. And then you go on and do whatever you're going to do anyway.
All right.
And I feel good that you doing what you wanted to do anyway. Okay. Right. So now we have, all right, so the next is there's a challenge in terms of chores. That's the dirty laundry part. That's a major issue. Now, Yelp, which is a service that talks about, does research on, places to eat and all this other kind of stuff, but they also do research in other areas. And they actually there were some articles and did research about chores and said that chores can be a major drain on a relationship. So I'm not excited about going to bed and having sex with you because maybe you didn't do the dishes.
Which happens occasionally.
Well, you don't really do the dishes anyway. But the issue is that you come to an agreement as to who's going to do what. And the research says that even if both are working, that the overriding responsibility falls to the female. And then that causes other challenges when one doesn't do what they promised to do. Again, it comes back to communication. And it's not the chore as much as it is
keeping your word.
Keeping your word as to what you were going to do.
Look,
then that becomes a turn off.
That was where I was going to go. So look, brothers, you remember what we say over and over again. My son was on a radio show the other day, and I just happened to listen into the show, and he was talking about his parents, and he said, my parents talk about this in their marriage book, that women need intimacy and security, and don't you ever forget it. And while men need sex and respect, but women need intimacy and security. Don't forget it. And if you're not keeping your word, you're messing up your love life. You're just messing it up.
I think that we will go down the track a little later, another session, as to, I think that I am actually reading a great book now, and it talks about that oftentimes we don't know the difference between intimacy and sex. Now, I say we, mostly men, don't know the difference between intimacy and sex. Okay? They might both end up the same place.
Why don't you explain to them? So
women want intimacy.
Why don't you tell the gentlemen what women need? Oh, stop before she says that. Women, a couple of y'all responded last week. We're going to have a seminar with Straight Talk with Dee. Women.
Seminars or programs, haven't decided what.
A seminar on Straight Talk with Dee, and we're working out how we can make it work and what's the right price point and all of that.
Well, what it's going to look like, just.
Yeah, we're working out that. But if you want to be part of that, send an email to info@williejolly.com. INF as in Frank O at WillieJolly, WILLIEJOLLEY.com, and say Straight Talk with Dee. And then we'll put you on the list of people once we put all the details. Are you going to ready to tell about intimacy?
I don't want to go
but
down
before
that
we
path.
do that, I want to
go
make
down
sure.
The general list.
All right, make sure.
The list of
all right.
turn-offs.
And Terrence asked the question, do you have a defined definition of the word love? I find that many people have multiple definitions of that single word love. And what happens when a couple has different definitions of the word love? Would love to hear more about the topic. We will address that topic coming up in time. I promise we'll take that on.
Can you give a short?
No, because it's too in depth. I've got. It'll take me the rest of the show. We only got 3 more minutes. All right. The show has now gone to live stream TV. We want to take it to national television. If y'all like that, you can, give us your ideas who or we should be sharing our Jolly Marriage show with, because we want to be reaching more people. That we love being on Facebook, but we also want to be on national TV. So
chores and turn off. I'm trying to get through the list. So not agreeing and not keeping your word. Okay, not keeping your word deals with, that gets into trust. So if I can't trust you to keep your word, then that affects how I'm going to feel when I crawl into bed next or not next to you.
Let me put you on the spot for a minute. Oh. You have said over the years one thing about me that you can take to the bank. What is that? You can take to the bank.
You always keep your word.
Folks, my father taught me that. My father taught me, keep your word. If you say you're going to do it, just do it. If you don't think you can do it, don't ever give your word. Your word is your bond. Keep it. Period. And I have done that. And I've tried to do that. When we got married, I said, look, she wanted to get an apartment. I said, nope.
First of all, I didn't want to move back to D.C.
Right. And so I said,
a whole nother thing.
And I said, look, if you come to D.C., back to D.C. here, because we got married, we eloped in Hampton, and then I came back home. And then I said, look, you got to come to D.C. I need my wife here. And then I said, no. We got to get a place to live. She said, how about an apartment? I said, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to give people my money. I said, let's do this. How about living in my mama's attic, in a converted attic to a bedroom? It was a converted, no bathroom on that floor. If you live there for 1 year, I promise I'll get you a home, a house.
We closed on a house here, which is where we live now, on June 30th, because I was actually reviewing papers. So that was 2 years and 2 days from when we got married. Because we got married.
No.
A year.
It was a year. We got the house a year before we got married again. We got the house a year. June of we took a year of living in Mama's attic.
Yes.
Okay. A year of living in Mama's attic, and I bought her.
We bought a house. Then 2 years later, we had the wedding. Is that right? Yep. Is that right?
Another year later after that, we had a second wedding, well, a big wedding, which we paid for, the reception. We paid for everything. It's about keeping your word. And I want to say this to gentlemen. If you keep your word, oh my gosh, it will have a profound impact. I saw a quote the other day. It was like this. It was something like, if you treat her like a queen, she will treat you like a king. And it was such a good quote. I should have written it down. Anyway, I 27.
Okay, we didn't get to.
We didn't get to it.
We're going to skip. Okay, so we had turnoffs. Poor hygiene, that's major. Being rough, being mean, not keep your word about the chores that you're doing. Issues of clinical depression, low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, just being exhausted, which is as much a mental thing now with everything that's going on.
But
the
ED, I gave y'all some tips last week on what you should use natural.
Or you can go to the doctor if you need to. But that's all. We're not going to get there. I want to get to rushing foreplay.
We can't get to it today. But we don't have time. Our time is up, sweetie pie. You're so cute.
How do you develop?
You look so
How
cute.
do you?
You look so beautiful. You look beautiful. You really do.
How to develop foreplay. That's something that we're going to talk about. Maybe that'll be the specific topic next week.
We'll talk. Y'all want me to talk about that next week? Let us know.
Foreplay and teasing is very important. Ooh. And then how you talk the panties off.
Ooh, come on now.
Talk about that?
We'll talk about that. Look, go to jollymarriage.com. Everybody go to jollymarriage.com. Get a free chapter from the book and send it out to your network. Say, hey, look, y'all need to get this free chapter from the book. Everybody, just go and say it with everybody.
And we didn't do a dose of D. What time is it? Is it time to go?
You know it's time to go. All right, so go to jollymarriage.com, get the free chapter, and share that with everybody in your network. And
Here's a quick takeaway.
Then tell them to buy 2 copies of the book. Get the package. You can get the digital package or you get the physical. If you get the physical, we will sign the book. Oh my gosh, we forgot.
Oh
my God.
For those who are not quite as verbal as I am about my wants and needs, we got it. We have a pillow.
Would you like a pillow?
A great way when you need to ease into how to communicate with the person you love.
Would you like a pillow autographed by me and Dee?
You can slide it in. Tonight's the night.
All right, would you like a pillow?
Instead of saying, I got a headache, and you're like, it is.
If you like a pillow, send us an email about that. We will get one and autograph it for you. We'll tell you what the cost will be. All right? It's, again, info@williejolleys.com.
How about that sitting on your pillow?
Yeah, love the Jolleys. How you like that? All right, we got to go. All right, we got to go. Our time is up. She has, oh, Lord, we got too much to give.
I didn't do my dose of D.
I know, baby. Okay. We'll get it next time.
Next week.
All right, love y'all. God bless y'all.
Jolly out.
Thank y'all so much. Jolly out. Love y'all. Bye-bye.